I'm Don Paco, a middle-class office worker, a barely passing father and a husband. Well, better to have one than none. My wife Lola, a woman who can grumble enough to throw church bells out of rhythm. And Julian, my 18-year-old son, is an explosive mix of teenage hormones and the smell of a 3-day-old pizza forgotten on the couch. We lived a life like soapy water, lukewarm, slimy, and with a scent of emotional grease. Until one day, everything went to hell. It all started with the bathtub, that place that's supposed to be for relaxing. But in my house, it's more like a post office for some things that no one wants to name.
What the
First,
hell?
hair. Normal. Then, soap. Annoying. While I was unclogging the drain like an archaeologist digging up a forgotten civilization, I pulled out something. Brownish. Sticky. It glistened under the bathroom light as if it were an alien creature freshly escaped from the human intestine. And then, I saw it. A corn kernel. Ladies and gentlemen, corn. Bright yellow, planted in the dampness like a shining testimony of an unforgivable crime. And in that moment of divine revelation, I knew Lola had taken a dump and flushed it down the drain. But instead of getting angry, I'm aroused, as if the drain were the gateway to a forbidden land, and I, the Don Quixote of foul odours. From disgusting, I went to excited, and then to addicted. I started waiting for signs, like someone longing for love letters sent by the universe. Every time I found a clue, I would hide in the bathroom and pleasure myself, as if I were performing a sacred ritual of divine blessing. Until one day, I saw Julian, my son, my blood, my legacy, the last hope of the glorious Paco dynasty. He was crouching, with the eyes of a Tibetan monk, the candlelight illuminating his face, and he dropped a spiritual turd. I didn't scream, I howled. I wanted to rip out my heart and toss it into the bathtub as a final offering to the god of the sewers. But the most painful part wasn't what he did. It was the thing inside my underwear was still awake.
A few moments later.
I went to the psychologist, an old lady who talked more than an ice cream machine, but with none of the freshness. She told me I suffered from intimacy-linked environmental arousal disorder. Basically, like I was having a secret affair with the drain. Then she looked at me with the eyes of a nun who just found a bottle of wine hidden under the altar. You must face your fear. And I did it. I went to work as usual, but just hearing the toilet flush from the downstairs bathroom made my uncertain body tremble, like being awoken by the national anthem. And then came the fateful day. Mid-morning meeting under cold lights and soul-draining reports. There I was, sitting with fidgety hands under the table, my mind on another planet. And suddenly, plof, a faint sound. Carmen, my desk partner, with her lovely cream-coloured heels, froze. She looked down at her feet, then looked at me, then looked down again. Paco, she said with a hoarse voice, as if she just swallowed a Vatican secret. This is not an acceptable way to comment on the financial report. Before I could say a word, my bold boss appeared, Don Ramon, with his head shining like a mirror of sins. He looked at the scene, looked at me, didn't say a word, just a gesture with his finger, pointing at the door. Short, humiliating, no subtitles, and I walked out like an excommunicated heretic from the Holy Office. But then, I came back. I threw my pen like a man casting his fate, flipped the keyboard like someone smashing the system, and spilled the coffee as if offering it to the toilet gods. I screamed as though the entire world had forced me to hold in my poop for my whole life. What did I do wrong? Everyone looked at me the way you'd watch an award-winning movie, filmed with a dash cam and the brain of a psychiatric patient.